guys, welcome back to Ashar Books. So today I thought I would do the Kindle Unlimited book tag, and this tag was originally created by Novel Thoughts, so I'll make sure to link her channel down below. And I've seen a couple different people do this, and it looked like a lot of fun, and I like Kindle Unlimited quite a bit, so I figured I'd give it a go. So question one is, why do you love Kindle Unlimited? I feel like my reason's probably similar to a lot of the other ones, and that is mostly just because it has such a variety of books on there, and for me, it's a really great way to give authors kind of a shot to kind of try out new authors. I feel like obviously I try out new authors without KU, but with it I just feel like I'm a little more likely to, kind of give it a chance, pick up the book kind of at the drop of a hat, whereas otherwise I'm a little more hesitant to spend money on something if I don't know if I'm going to love it. And yes, I know we're already kind of spending money on Kindle Unlimited, but it's a little bit different. And I love that you can kind of discover new authors on it as well, because sometimes when you're browsing through kind of what they offer, you'll find someone, they sound good, never heard of them before, and just kind of, pick up a book, try it out and see kind of what you think of it. And I found some great authors that way. So I love the variety. I love that you can kind of try out new authors without feeling like if you don't like the book, you're kind of like wasting money in a way, and just kind of lets you read a variety. It also lets you binge series, because without feeling guilty for spending like money on like 7 books, if they're all on Kindle Unlimited, it's all for like the same price. So it's great for binging, in my opinion. Number 2 is, what authors have you discovered because of KU? I feel like one of the ones I wanted to mention, which I want to make sure I got her name right, was Amber Kelly, who wrote a book that I am like blanking on, the Rustic Hearts? Yes, Rustic Hearts. That I read at the end of last year, and I really, really liked. That's a prime example of an author I had not heard of, but I heard or saw a lot of people talking about it on like Instagram and stuff. But I saw that it was in Kindle Unlimited, and I immediately was like, okay, I'll try it. Read a few pages, was totally sucked in, and now I really want to read anything she publishes, because it was a fantastic book. So I loved her. Another one was Carla Sorensen. I really enjoy her books. I haven't read any of her like bakery series books yet that she recently came out with, but I read her football series, and I love that series. I think it's fantastic, and she's another one that I wasn't too familiar with. Kind of saw the series pop up, decided to give it a chance, and now I really, really enjoy her a lot, and I've suggested her quite a few times, because I think she has just a really like enjoyable writing style that I think a lot of people would like. Number 3 is, what is your favorite KU series? So this one was a little tricky for me, because I feel like I didn't read too many like series on KU, but one of the ones that I think is kind of a series is Karina Halley, or Halley, I think, right? Her Royal series, they're not like a series in the traditional sense, but they are like interrelated. But her Royal series, you guys know, I love that series. They're so good. I haven't read the newest one that just came out like a couple of months ago, but the first 3 I think I have read and really loved, so that's one of my favorites. And that's a series that I read on KU and then bought some of the physical books because they were so good. Another series that I binged was Christy Caldwell's Sinful Bride series. I read that one last year, I think, towards the beginning of the year, and they're historical romances, and they are fabulous. They're really good, and I just binged through like 5 of those in a row. And again, since they were on KU, I didn't feel as guilty about like buy on the one-click books. So those 2 I really loved. Speaking of binging, number 4 is, what authors have you binged? So obviously I could have said the 2 that I just talked about, because especially Christy Caldwell's I definitely binged, but just to mention a couple others, one was R.S. Gray. So I already was a fan of R.S. Gray kind of before I had Kindle Unlimited, but once I had it, I went back and read a bunch of her books that I hadn't got to, or like anytime a new book comes out, I immediately get it typically. I love R.S. Gray, and I love the fact that they're in Kindle Unlimited and you can kind of just go reread them whenever you want. Another author that I would say I kind of binged was Emily Goodwin. She has both contemporary romance and a couple paranormal romances. And I really liked them, especially her contemporary series. I think I read the first like 3 or 4 in that series really fast, like back to back, and they're really good. So those are 2 that I would say I binged, along with others. I don't know why I had a hard time remembering. I was going through my Goodreads trying to remember like what was in Kindle Unlimited. I really need to like mark what I read in Kindle Unlimited because sometimes I don't remember. Number 5, what was the last book that you read in Kindle Unlimited? So I have 2, and I'm pretty sure these are the 2 most recent. I actually haven't read anything in, oh, I lied. I have to change this. So I put Her Christmas Road by Christy Caldwell, and then also The Wall of Winnipeg by Miranda Zapata, and I read one of those in November and one in December, but I just now finished Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross, and so that was a Kindle Unlimited book. So I finished that last night. So that was the most recent book I read in KU. All of those are awesome books. They're all fabulous. So go pick them up if you haven't. Number 6 is, what is the most romantic book that you've read on KU? I had to really think about this one because, I mean, they're romances, so theoretically they should have all had something like romantic, but I was trying to come up with something a little more like traditional in the romance section. So one I thought of was Beauty and the Mustache by Penny Reed, which is book, I'm not exactly sure what book it is, but it's in the Knitting in the City series, and I read that one and loved it. That one I picked because it's about Drew and Ashley, and Drew is like this big burly guy who has a job, what is his job? He's like a gamekeeper or something like that. So he's very outdoorsy, but he also like writes poetry and loves poetry, and he writes it for Ashley, and he's just so swoony, and I found that book really romantic. Like, I really liked his like gestures, I guess. The other one was His Royal Highness by R.S. Gray. I don't know why, but that one just popped in my head when I thought of romantic. That was the one that came out a couple of months ago, and I absolutely love that book. It's one of my favorites of hers, like, she's ever put out, and I just found that relationship kind of romantic. And then the other one is Colty, and by Mariana Zapata. I don't know why exactly I think that's romantic. It's definitely a huge slow burn. It's a sports romance about soccer players. I think it's because there's an age gap. It's kind of forbidden because he's the coach, but obviously they're both adults. And it was such a slow burn. I felt like over time he did like little romantic gestures that just really won me over, from like grumpy to like a total winner. So I don't know, I guess I find that romantic. Who knows? The last question is just to tag a friend to do this, and I don't know exactly who's done this tag, so I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but if you like KU and you read a lot of Kindle Unlimited, for sure do this, because I think it's really fun to see people's answers. We kind of get more recommendations, and I, for one, want to make sure that I'm kind of using my Kindle Unlimited. Like, if I'm paying for it, I want to make sure I'm kind of utilizing it, so I'm always looking for recommendations. So if you guys have any, let me know down below. I would absolutely love to know any of your favorite books, series, authors in Kindle Unlimited. I think it's a great service, and I always recommend that people get it if they read a lot of like romance especially. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!